What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Smooth J. We back. We speak my opinion on topics high. Wherever you at, wherever you listening, wherever you watching, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. We wouldn't be here without y'all, and we wouldn't be creeping up slowly but surely to 2K. All y'all are truly amazing. Whoa, big burp. Truly the best. You already know what to do. Excuse me. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you new. And you already know the smoothies. We blend together. That's the motto, man. That's the motto. Because you already know. Drop in the comments what city, what state, what country you rocking with your boy Smooth J from, man. You already know. We got to add you to the long, everlasting list. You know, we global, we worldwide over here, man. We kind of said it backwards, but you all know what I mean, man. Hey, we got chapter 5 coming up. And hey, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all want to join Discord, if you have any other questions. I just dropped a video explaining, kind of showing off what the Discord looking like for the smoothies. So if you want, go check it out. Go join. You know, you talk to your boy Smooth J a lot easier on Discord. You know what I'm saying? And then we don't have to like be so PC. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's get it, man. We about to check out chapter 5. We know this is gonna be another deep one, so we here for it. And you wanna know what's crazy to me? We're gonna put it in full screen. Ran these chapters. Each chapter has been so tough, right? But the fact is, these chapters hit people differently in different ways. Every single one of them. Some of the chapters might not make some people as sad. Other chapters might make people more sad than others. That's just the way life works. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what chapter 5 is all about. Let's get it.
I tried to cling on to music in whatever ways I could during the time I was sick. During my time in Brighton, whenever my energy would allow it, I'd get myself out onto the streets and I'd go busking, about once every 3 weeks or so. It was my second year in Brighton, and I remember one evening heading home with my guitar and my busking amp after a couple of hours of playing on the street. I remember hearing this amazing ethereal voice while heading through the lanes, and I saw that it was coming from this 16-year-old kid. I've always had a deep admiration and feeling of camaraderie for buskers. There's something about the willingness to be able to bare your soul to a street full of strangers that really moves me.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Like, that shit is impressive. You know what I'm saying? Just to go out on the street in front of just strangers walking by and just to play out your own music. You know what I'm saying? Shit is so impressive. You have to have true confidence within yourself. You know what I'm saying? To truly do stuff like that. Impressive.
I noticed that the kid didn't have an amp. He was singing totally a cappella, but you'd only hear him if you were within a few meters of him. I knew from years on the street and singing a cappella than myself that an amp can change everything. I had this compulsion to offer him mine. I approached him and I told him that if he plugged in and sang while I played guitar, the whole street would stop in its tracks. And I was right. His voice soared across the street and people started stopping. Not long after, we had the whole street's attention. Something quite magic was happening.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
This was the first day.
That's fire. That is fire. Ren is truly amazing. Inspirational, man. Stop by this dude busking in the street. And he didn't have an amp, so you couldn't really hear him. So Ren's like, hey, if I play my guitar and you just sing, people is going to stop and listen. And he said, hey, that's what happened.
That I met Sam Tomkins, someone who would be integral to my whole life changing later on.
Whoa. So he met Sam Tomkins that day? Oh, man. We're going to have to, oh, man. Ooh. We're going to have to listen to the Ren and Sam Tomkins earned it. Because y'all have been wanting me to react to that. Now that chapter 5, he introduces us to Sam. Oh, we definitely got to do that. That's crazy.
I met Sam Tomkins, someone who would be integral to my whole life changing later on. He had a friend with him, this guy called Connor Honeyset, who would later go on to be my manager.
Whoa.
For now, they'd just be a couple of teenagers that I'd have to help out on my way home.
That's crazy. It is funny how life works out like that, man. You just walk in home, you hear someone amazing, you offer them your amp, and then they become just I don't know if it became one of his best friends and his manager. That's wow.
Funny how life works like that. I kept up to date with what Sam was doing on social media. There was a part of me that felt like his successes allowed me to live vicariously through someone else who lived an alternate reality where I never got sick. He was getting videos on SBTV, writing and featuring with some amazing artists, and there were quite a lot of similarities in our writing styles, and all at such a young age. I wasn't really able to do any of that stuff at the time. I was mostly bedbound with the exception of the odd day that I'd be able to go busking. It could have been very easy for that feeling to turn into jealousy, but it never did. I felt truly proud of him.
That's amazing. That is amazing from Ren. That's what you call a real friend, man. Because anyone else in that situation, they're going to start hating. They're going to start being super jealous because their friend is doing what they wish that they could do. But they're just too sick that they can't. You know what I'm saying? That's a real friend in Ren. That's a real friend. The fact he felt proud of him and didn't feel no jealousy, no ill will towards Sam. All love. All love.
Years later, we go on to write a song together called Blind Eyed, which would transform the trajectory of my whole career.
Oh, we gonna have to hold up. Hold on real quick. Gotta write in a notebook, man. Blind Eye. Can't spell blind eye. Is that what he said? Blind eyed. Alright. We gotta check that one out too.
They're called Blind Eyed, which would transform the trajectory of my whole career. During this time, I was still desperately jumping from one treatment to another treatment. And now that my diet had become more limited, I was trying new diets with no luck.
Yeah.
As the options in the alternative health world started to dwindle, I started searching for answers in the divine. In the former years, I had moments where I found myself sitting in churches, talking in tears to whoever might be listening, or experimenting with energetic healing modalities like Reiki. With time, my searching started taking even more unusual turns. I started looking to things like exorcists. Once you exhaust all rational explanations and treatments, the irrational suddenly starts looking more palatable. I had a skeptic's mind, but I had nothing to lose because there were no other good options.
And started turning to all kinds of things. Sitting in churches, and then started thinking about exorcisms and just supernatural stuff. Just to try anything. The man had went through so many treatments, and he's going from one treatment to another, to another, to another. And he's like, I will just try anything at this point.
My friend Momoko's mother was from Japan. She aligned herself with a sect of Buddhism called the Nichiren Daishonin. They would chant a repeated phrase over and over again while holding prayer beads. The chant would go, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, over and over again. Its intention was to align you with your innate Buddhahood, to cleanse you of any bad karma and put you in alignment with your true destiny on earth, to find peace, to find tranquility. Momoko's mum gifted me with my own set of beads, and I began to chant every morning. Eventually, I joined a group in Brighton after a serendipitous meeting with an incredibly eccentric, bright, colourful suit-wearing piano tuner. He spotted my beads and he grinned at me and he pulled out his own. We'd sit in a small group and we'd chant for hours sometimes.
Here's how I aced my midterm project with Adobe Premiere Pro. Beautiful shots, but too noisy, right? Enhanced sound.
There was something comforting about trusting the course of my life and illness to an incomprehensible power outside of myself.
You want to know what's crazy with that? With him doing that every single morning? He actually truly doing that, in my opinion, he actually found his true meaning on earth. His true meaning was to inspire so many to bring light to the medical industry that has been so corrupt, so rigged for years and years, for bringing awareness to an illness not very many people knew about at the time. He couldn't even get blood tests, nothing. They were misdiagnosing him all the time. But doing this, he found his actual true calling, which is to inspire millions and millions of people all across the globe. That makes me feel just absolutely great, because Ren is a fighter. And like doing this, he said, I kind of liked it, because he's like, there might be something, a power, a being, something outside my body that might be able to bring me joy, or just bring me what my destiny is on earth. What is my true meaning?
I spoke openly in these meetings that I love feeling part of something, but that I really struggled saying with certainty that I believed in it. This was the issue I faced with every religion I temporarily aligned myself with, looking for answers. Something in me couldn't bring myself to take ancient texts as gospel, all too aware of how man twists so-called spiritual doctrines to suit his own power-hungry pursuits.
That's how I feel, though. That's me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm literally not. I don't believe in any of that, because just what Rand said, a lot of those books and texts and all of that has been so changed throughout the time to fit their own like hunger, to fit their own power, their needs. That's why I'm not religious. I'm not religious. And that is one of the reasons why, because all of that stuff has been changed so many times throughout history, that what can you actually believe is true and not true?
Aware of how man twists so-called spiritual doctrines to suit his own power-hungry pursuits. I wanted divine proof. I sometimes screamed at the sky or the waves and begged for it. I was answered with sickness. If there was a creator, I was angry with it. The irony was that I envied people of faith. I felt like people who truly trusted themselves to a higher power seemed to possess a level of calm and acceptance that I didn't. One of my stranger encounters was going to see a shaman. The shaman, of course, was a middle-aged white woman in a quite nice-looking cottage in Brighton. She told me to lie down, and she proceeded to lean over my body and made noises like coughing up phlegm while speaking an unknown ancient language that seemed to include whistling noises. After about 20 minutes of making distressed groaning noises over my back, she paused in contemplation for a while and proceeded to tell me that I'd been killed by a sword in my past life. She made sucking noises near the supposed stab site on my chest, and then she spat into a bucket. She then placed a little stone into my hand, and she told me that I had to bury it on a high hill in Brighton on the next full moon. The most depressing part of this story is during the next full moon, I did indeed find a big hill, dug a small hole, and I buried the stone in it. Surprising to say, fuck all happened. It was this journey into the spiritual unknown that led me to a very unsettling experience. I located a therapist online who had claimed to overcome ME herself. She specialised in it and dealt with people's past trauma, but also worked with energies like Reiki. I had to get the train.
The fact that he has now started to do all sorts of spiritual things. The lady told him to go bury a rock on the tallest hill in Brighton. And he said, you wanna know what the saddest part is? I actually fucking did that shit. I actually believed her. I actually did it. Nothing happened like every other time that I've listened to medicine or the pills or some sort of spiritual journey. Anything. It all ends up the same. Not working. Not helping.
I had to get the train to where she lived. She met me in the car and drove me in silence back to hers. There was a bit of an unusual energy about her. I've always been really good at reading people. I can't quite explain it, but sometimes when I meet someone, it's like I have a sixth sense for whether or not they'll play a significant role in my life. This person's energy felt alien to me. When we arrived at her, she told me that she sometimes would consult with her horses about people's health conditions. It was at this moment I knew that she was probably insane. Nonetheless, I shared a lot about my life. We got into the trauma of living with sickness, what it was like to constantly mourn your own life. It was comforting at first, and it felt like a safe space, until it got a bit weird. One day she offered me a glass of water before a Reiki session, and during the session I fell into a deep sleep. When I came around, multiple hours had passed, which was peculiar for me. I usually have issues with sleeping and couldn't drift off, particularly not in unfamiliar environments. She assured me it was total normal and to get plenty of water, and I thought nothing of it. Lines started getting somewhat blurry when she'd invite me for meals with her and her husband. I took it as friendliness, but I noticed that she started messaging me outside of clinic hours. One time I agreed to create music for her in exchange for...
You know your business better than anyone, right? So why not build an app to run it with Base 44? This finance app solves...
in exchange for some...
I have a feeling I know where this is going, and it's gonna lead down a dark path. I have a feeling. Because it's like just so weird, man. Like, it's so weird. I don't understand why. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why people just truly can't help. Why they can't help. Why they always have to give the run around in circles. Give you things that just are gonna make you worse. Feel worse. Be worse. And you just have to live with that every single day of your life. And then, like, the fact that now she's starting to message him outside of clinic hours, I feel like it's going in a dark place.
Me outside of clinic hours. One time I agreed to create music for her in exchange for some extra sessions. Not long after, I started getting strange messages in my Facebook inbox. She started telling me how she knew that all my previous songs had been about her, which they hadn't. When I dismissed this, she would sometimes message me saying that she was outside of my house, telling me that our souls were bonded and that bad things would happen to me if we weren't together. To put it lightly, I was already in a pretty weird emotional place because of years of sickness. So having someone in the position of trust abuse their position like this shook me, and it shook my trust in therapy even more.
It's crazy. She was a therapist. She's supposed to be there to help people. That's why I say therapy is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's all a scam. But she was a therapist. And then now she's starting to abuse that, telling like Rand, oh, our souls are bonded, and if we're not together, then bad things are going to happen to you. Like he's not already feeling bad enough as it is. He's in a weird emotional state, he said. And he's sick. He's just getting sicker and sicker by the day. And yet she wants to tell him some bullshit like that. Like, that's not going to help at all. Come on, man. Come on. Pisses me off because I'm not one that believes in therapy and all that shit at all, because it's all just random ass people that say they have their degree in something, but what do they know more than me, you, and everyone else? You know what I'm saying? They don't know much more. All you have to do is know how to talk to people, listen to people. That's all a therapist supposedly does. But they don't help anyone, truly.
In the position of trust abuse their position like this shook me, and it shook my trust in therapy even more. It shook my trust in people in general. I told her to never contact me again, and I blocked her, but she would still occasionally get through on other numbers. One time she'd phoned my mum's house relentlessly. My mum, knowing the details, told her to stop harassing me and threatened to get the police involved after things which went silent. This was also the year that I met my second ever girlfriend, who I'd later be engaged to for a short amount of time.
Oh.
My little sister had already set the relationship up in her mind. She met this girl in Bristol who she got on with super well, and somehow she wingmanned me and planted the seed in her brain that she'd be perfect for her older brother, me. My sister's friend had moved to Brighton, but I was blissfully unaware of this matchmaking. At this point, I was living in a house share in Rose Hill Terrace in Brighton with some lunatics I'd met at Ben's house, and Momoko who had moved down from Cornwall. The house was only meant for 2 people, but Momoko and I had pretended we were married and pretended that we were going to have a baby to be able to get it. As soon as the deed was signed, we moved in with about 5 other friends, one living in the living room, one in the attic, one in the study, one in the conservatory. It's safe to say rent was pretty fucking cheap.
That's crazy.
One night my friend Luke was throwing a party and she rocked up with a few of her friends. My sister had pretty good taste in girls and I had a crush on her instantly. At some point in the night we both ended up lying on my bedroom floor on a bunch of sofa cushions while about 6 other people were sleeping in various places in my room. One somehow in the upper compartment of my wardrobe. True story. She asked me...
Oh, man. You always can make light of a situation. This dude said, hey, man, someone was up in the top shelf of my wardrobe, like up in the closet, man. How'd they get up in there? I have no idea. No fucking clue. Yo. That is crazy. Oh, man. A house made for 2 people. And then him, Momoko, and 5 other people moved up in that. Man. One in the study, the conservatory, the attic. God dang, man. They was crammed up in there.
My room. One somehow in the upper compartment of my wardrobe. True story. She asked me to tell her a bedtime story, and I made up the most unhinged story I could think of. By some sort of miracle, she found my madness endearing, and we ended up kissing a lot and staring into each other's eyes till we fell asleep. It's strange navigating a relationship when you're sick. I couldn't go out to eat at restaurants because I was allergic to everything. I didn't have the energy to do most normal things that couples do. Some days I'd be so full of brain fog that my personality disappeared, and it was hard to explain that to someone without them thinking that maybe you were just being a bit off with them. I think losing Joe, losing Callum, losing the record deal, losing my last girlfriend, it had all made me wary of getting attached to good things. Quite a lot of my illness made me feel ugly, and it's hard to accept love when you feel ugly. Nonetheless, she did love me, and with time our relationship grew.
That's amazing. Amazing. The fact that he just found someone that loved him for him. Sickness, through health, whatever it was. She was with him. That's amazing, though. That's what everyone needs to find.
We don't really identify mental health as the energy that it deserves. And I think I can speak.
It was around this time I was contacted by a woman called Jennifer Breer, an incredibly inspiring woman whose journey seemed to parallel mine. She was an incredibly ambitious PhD student at Harvard who one day was struck down by a mystery illness that confined her to a wheelchair. She spent most of her life tirelessly searching for a way out. She was doing a Kickstarter to raise money to make a film called Canary in a Coal Mine. It would later go on to be renamed Unrest, and it would go on to win multiple awards, and it's still watchable on Netflix to this day. It's an incredibly important and very moving documentary about the horrors of living with ME. I recommend everyone checks that out.
Wow. That is amazing. I definitely am going to have to check that out for sure. We can even do like, because I want to see it, we could even do like a live stream where we all watch it together. If y'all want to do that, let me know in the comments, because I definitely want to check that out. Like, I definitely want to check it out.
Called Canary in a Coal Mine. It would later go on to be renamed Unrest, and it would go on to win multiple awards, and it's still watchable on Netflix to this day. It's an incredibly important and very moving documentary about the horrors of living with ME. I recommend everyone checks that out. At the time, I started health blogging.
Unrest. That's... Yeah, if y'all want, I can do a whole live stream dedicated to that. We could watch it. I don't know how long it is or not, but I'm here for it. If y'all want me to do a live stream and we can all watch it together, hey, I'm here for it.
I created a series of video diaries that I named Me versus ME. It would be a video document of my various trials with different alternative treatment approaches, and generally a look into the life of someone with a chronic illness. I didn't know it back then, but those videos would save my life.
Oh.
I guess I was occupying a place that was needed, as quite quickly many people in the chronic health communities gravitated towards my videos. Every day, I'd be sent messages telling the stories of the people who had fallen in between the cracks in the floorboards. There was heartbreaking stories. Stories of frustration and confusion. People mourning the people that used to be. Some who were new to this world. Some who had been there for decades. I tried to help them in whatever way I could. I tried to comfort people. In my own little way, I became somewhat of a spokesperson for the voiceless. I felt their pain like it was my own. This new pursuit gave me a sense of purpose that I desperately needed. Without purpose, I felt useless. I made a lot of friends, and I'd write to them on a daily basis. Some of those friends died.
Man. Those videos saved his life, he said. Me versus ME. Those were what they were called. And he said those videos truly saved his life because every single day he was flooded with messages from people who have either had it for years and years and years, their whole life, or people who just got it. He said he felt true connections to that. He was a spokesperson for the voiceless. That's what he is today. He's literally the spokesperson for just being an inspiration to everyone out there, man. It's crazy. He said, I have multiple friends on there that I write every single day. And he says some of those friends died. Whew, man. That's insane. But that's why I say, this man has been inspiring people for a long, long time. And he doesn't even, he didn't even realize it at the time, but he was inspiring back then. Just as much as he's inspiring today.
Some of those friends died. Some of those friends that decided to take their lives.
Man, that's tough. That is tough. Some of them died. Some of them decided to take their own lives. Whew, man. You can tell how much all of those people meant to him because they all were feeling the same type of trauma. That's what they met over, you know what I'm saying? That's tough.
And they're wicked people. I talk to them a lot. It was this that ultimately made me decide to stop. But that wouldn't be until years later. Immersing myself in the horrors of this illness and trying to carry some of the weight for the others while I still wasn't strong enough to carry my own eventually took its toll. Jen Bria had found my videos and she asked me to make a song for her documentary. I was honoured. I wrote a song called Patience. I'll leave you with a video taken at a time to finish off this chapter.
Wow. She found him and asked if he could make a song for the documentary. Now we definitely gotta check the documentary out, man. Whew. Man. Ren, you're truly, truly an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
And I've learnt some lessons that will be so valuable for so it's a blessing and a curse being this ill because it's completely changed me.
I soar upon metal wings.
It's turned me
His
from
last name was Gil.
a little cocky teenager into somebody who's quite this, I guess, prepared for things now. Like I feel like once I've gone through this, I'll throw anything at me and it'll be okay. But at the same time, as much as I see it as a blessing, I hate it. I do hate it. I think it was Thomas Edison that was like, I haven't failed, I've just found 1,000 things that don't work, which is kind of nice to look at it that way, like I'm just eliminating things. But it really challenges my mind, and yeah, it's just gotten to the point where I'm spending, I'd say like 95% of my life in a bedroom, which kind of sucks, because my mind is in such a different place in my body. My mind craves life so much.
It's alright, it's okay, I'm feeling brave, gonna face this day. It's okay, it's alright, no tears will kiss my cheeks tonight. And it's all good, and I'm just fine. My words ring out like hollow shells. Just slow down, it takes time, but time moves slow, I know this well. And my heart breaks 1,000 times a day. But for every hope that dies, another one takes its place. Because I have the strength of a mountain, and I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I have the heart of a lion, and the stars burn bright inside of me. And although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see that I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
Man, oh man, this song is just too real. Oh man, this is, man, the realness that Ren puts into everything. He will never shortcut anything, anyone, ever. Ah.
This world is quite scary, I know that, cause I've been here for some time. But all that prepares me for a day when I can truly shine. Cause I've been so broken, and picking up fragments of myself, I'll glue them back together, so I can stand at the edge of this world and yell that my heart breaks 1,000 times a day. For every hope that dies, another one takes its place. Because I have the strength of a mountain, and I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I have the heart of a lion, and the stars burn bright inside of me. And although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see that I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me. Dust the cobwebs off this sheath, and I'll take the sword of my belief, and in this storm I will not flinch, and I will not move, no, not an inch. Because I have the strength of a mountain, I've got the courage of the deep blue sea, and I'll have the heart of a lion, and the stars they burn bright inside of me. But although you test me, my God, I stand so proudly. Can't you see I have the strength of a mountain, and I'll take all you throw at me.
Amazing. Dude, like he says in that song, man, I got the strength of a mountain. I got the courage of the deep blue ocean. Like, he truly does. The man is a fighter. And he keeps fighting for every single person that has ME or some sort of illness out there, man. Ren, like he said, he's a spokesperson for the voiceless. For the voiceless. And he's a true inspiration. Man, this was amazing. This was emotional. This was deep. Made me cry again. Every single chapter is going to make me cry. I already know we have 3 more to go. 6, 7, and 8. And I heard they're just as deep as all the rest of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Ren, chapter 5, and the song Patience. That's on that Unrest documentary that we definitely want to check out. So let me know if you guys want me to do like a live stream. We can all watch it together. Just let me know in the comments. And y'all already know it's your boy Smooth J. It's Speak My Opinion on Topics High. Wherever you at, you already know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you new. And until next time, the Smoothies, we out. Peace.